Gender is increasingly being explored as a social characteristic ascribed to robots by people. Decades of research has shown that people tend to react to gender cues in robots and other artificial agents, even without realizing it, and often in line with stereotypes. Yet, research involving social robots that may be gendered tends not to address gender perceptions, such as through pilot studies or manipulation checks. Moreover, research that does address gender perceptions has been limited by our reliance on the human gender binary model of feminine and masculine, prescriptive response options, and/or researcher assumptions and/or ascriptions of participant gendering. Thus, we asked, how does a gender-expansive framing affect participant categorization of robots? We offer three main contributions in terms of methodology, empirical findings that show variability, and evidence that anthropomorphism and perceived age affect how robots are gendered. To answer our research question, we conducted an online pilot categorization study where we used random order assignment of 4 robots ranging across 4 levels of anthropomorphism corresponding to the Duffy taxonomy. As in the figure on the right, we provided gender-expansive response options as well as age options and other options including nationality as part of a larger study. We found that people will gender robots in diverse ways regardless of the robot's anthropomorphism. We also found that if the degree of the robot's anthropomorphism was high, people tended to perceive the robot as having a gender of some kind. We also found that if the degree of the robot's anthropomorphism was low, people tended to perceive the robot as having a neutral or non-humanoid gender. But we also found that in these cases, people tended to ascribe a masculine gender as well. As for age, we had to reject the hypothesis that if the robot was perceived as young, it would also be perceived as genderless. Our baby robot, Diego-san, was largely perceived as masculine. In conclusion, we found that people gender robots in diverse ways. This supports the need for providing gender-expansive options to participants. Nevertheless, more expansion of these options is needed. For example, the robot Bandit received various gender ascriptions. We concluded that Bandit could be gender ambiguous. We'll need to consider other kinds of scales, as well as qualitative approaches, or perhaps come up with more creative approaches to evaluating gendering of robots. We also found a masculine bias. This may be a reflection of higher-level societal models, but perhaps we can consider how robots could disrupt these ideas and shift attitudes about gender. We also realized that we need greater theoretical and operational distinction between related gender concepts, especially neutrality, fluidity, and ambiguity. Thank you for your time.